Hey, Allison Verhalen here, not coming at you live because I'm doing this ahead of time. But we're going to have some juicy tips anyway. I wanted to talk to you about marketing hacks because I've been hearing about this a lot and it makes me cringe every time I hear it because there are a couple things I think of when I think of marketing hacks. And maybe I'm just wrong as to what a marketing hack is. And you can absolutely let me know in the comments or email me at info@avwritingservices.com if I am wrong here. But the first thing that comes to my mind is someone hacking their way into a computer system to get information they should not have access to, or someone who's not good at their job, who is trying to make everyone believe that they are good at their job. We often talk about that person as a hack. So when I hear about a marketing hack, that's what I think of. I don't think of people who are trying to provide value, creating high quality content that answers the questions their audience is asking, that provides value and makes their lives better in some way. A hack is not going to do that, right? A strategy is going to help you do that. Effective marketing tactics will help you do that. Marketing hack, not so much. So I tend to think of people, for example, hopping on threads because it's the latest thing. Although maybe by the time you're watching this, threads will be dead and you'll be like, what are you talking about? Who knows? But a lot of people are hopping on it right now for a variety of reasons. But one of the reasons is it becomes this kind of self perpetuating thing where a lot of people hop on threads and more people go, oh, lots of people are hopping on threads, so I should be on threads. So they hop on threads for that reason. And I'm not like anti threads. I'm not on threads myself yet. I'm not against it. I'm just not, I don't see the value in it for me yet. I that could change. I'm open to it. So I'm not like anti threads. Um, you should absolutely hang out there if that's where your ideal client is hanging out. If your ideal client is not hanging out there, what are you doing there? That's just a waste of your time. If you want to hang out there socially, great, hang out there socially. But if that's not where your ideal client is hanging out, if it doesn't serve your larger business goals, what are you doing there? So I have just a few things that I think you should be thinking about anytime you hear someone talk about the next marketing hack, the next marketing thing you need to try. Here's what I want you to think about. Number one, does it provide value? So I read somewhere once that the best marketing does not feel like marketing. And I loved it. And I took a screenshot and saved it on my phone because I was like, yes, that's so true. All right. It shouldn't feel like marketing. It should feel like, again, an answer to a question. I cannot stress this enough or say it enough times. It has to answer the questions your people are asking. So, what are they asking? What do they need? What do they want to make their lives better? It has to address a pain point that they're struggling to solve. The content also needs to be engaging. That means it needs to be written in language, not only that your target audience understands, but language they would use to describe this problem or to describe the solution that you're providing. And it needs to be told in a story format that puts them front and center so they understand the value that you're providing and how your solution is going to make their lives better. Next up, does it serve your ideal client, right? So we talked about this with threads. If your ideal client is on threads, great, get on threads. If posting on there is as a marketing hack that actually works, then by all means, go ahead and do that. If it's something that people want, but is not aligned with what you provide, then maybe that's not something that's good for you. So as an example, last year I was giving a webinar and I was asking the attendees what they wanted and they wanted a tutorial on how to use WordPress, right? The webinar was about blogging because I write blog posts for my clients. And they were like, well, we don't blog because we don't know how to use WordPress. But if you teach us how to use WordPress, then we could blog, right? I could give a tutorial on WordPress. That is a thing that I could do. That doesn't help me achieve my goals because my ideal client is not going the DIY route. My ideal client has someone else developing their website for them, maintaining their website for them. I always make sure to network with people who are web designers and developers. And I do prefer WordPress just because that's the one I'm the most familiar and most comfortable with, right? So doing a tutorial on WordPress does not help my goals at all, because I don't want people reaching out to me helping them set up their WordPress. That's not a service that I provide. Again, I can refer them to people who do that, but that's not something that is going to achieve my business goals. So I'm not going to invest time and energy into creating and promoting that webinar. So with every place you're hanging out, including webinars, I've heard from other people that they do webinars and they don't like doing them and it doesn't work for them, so they don't do them. I like doing webinars and I have gotten clients that way. So I've found a way to make it work for me. So I keep doing webinars. It's not a hack. It is a way that I provide value for my clients and my audience. So they can either, again, see the value I provide and then hire me, or if they can't afford to hire me, they get the value of that knowledge that I'm providing and they can incorporate it into their marketing strategy themselves. Next up, last but certainly not least, will it help you achieve your business objectives, right? So tying into that last one of serving your ideal client, and tying into your business objectives. So we talk a lot in marketing, especially in online marketing, about getting eyeballs on content. That's great. We do need to get eyeballs on content because no one can hire you or buy your stuff if they don't know you exist. But we have to get the right eyeballs on your content, right? So again, going back to that WordPress tutorial, I'm sure I could get eyeballs on that content. Would I be getting the right eyeballs on that content? No, because that is not what my ideal clients are interested in. They are hiring someone else to do that. They might need help with either they're trying to do their content themselves, or they want to know more about how content marketing works before hiring someone like me to do it. That's when they're going to attend my webinar. That's when I have a good chance of getting the right people onto my content and into my funnel. So with every marketing hack, everything someone tells you have to do, right? I hear this all the time. People are like, yeah, I know I should be blogging. Yeah, I know I should be on social media. I know I should be doing this or that, right? Should you? Is it true that that's really best for your business? Or is it just something someone told you to do, so you thought you should do it? I went back and forth on Instagram for a while because one person told me I should be on Instagram and I was like, fine, I'll be on Instagram. And then I was talking to another person who was like, no, if you don't like being on Instagram, don't be on Instagram. And I was like, great, I'm washing my hands of it. Well, then Twitter imploded. So I needed another social media platform to talk up my business, right? I'm on LinkedIn a lot as well. I'm also nominally on Facebook. But I needed another place to get the word out about my business. So if something happens to LinkedIn, I have another place where I'm active and people can find me and get a hold of me. I do like to, I'm not going to be on all of the social media platforms, but I do like to diversify a little bit so that people can find me regardless of where they are, regardless of where I am. So that is one example, right? At first it was like, no, this doesn't really achieve my business objective, so I'm not doing it. And then it turned into, okay, yeah, I need to do this and I need to do it right. So that's another good point, actually, is that the marketing hack might not be right for you at one point, but it might turn out to be good for you at another point. Same with Twitter, right? That was a pretty good place for me to be for a while, and then it turned into not a great place for me to be, so I'm not on Twitter anymore. So constantly come back to these things and reassess. And if something keeps coming up for you, if people keep saying, if you keep hearing, you really need to try such and such, this would be really good for you. Sometimes there's a reason that you keep hearing that. Sometimes it's just because of the buzz, like again, with threads. But if you're in one-on-one conversations and everyone is like, no, seriously, you need to check this out because of XYZ, especially if they have good reasons why you specifically need your business on there, that is an indication that there's a reason you need to be on there. So that maybe it's worth at least checking out. So that is it. That is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can just let me know in the comments. You can also check out my website where I have a ton of content about all of this. That is over at my website, AV as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.